guys, this video is brought to you by fuBar, the world's #1 online virtual bar. But I'll get to that later in the video. Alright, so I have here the Mantis X10 Elite. I've done some videos for Mantis before, and they have some really great products for using dry fire. This one is really cool because you can use it for dry fire or you can use it with live fire. And I'm at the range today and I'm going to use it with some live fire and just practice a little bit. So I'll get into it and explain what it is, but first let's do a little unboxing. So here's the Mantis right here. Alright, so if I open it up, we have this big piece right here. This is a mount for your rifle. So you can use this product with a pistol, rifle, shotgun. So I'm going to move that aside because today I'm going to be using my pistol. So here's the piece that we're going to be using. This is the main piece. When you turn it on, it'll light up green. That's how you know it's on, right there. And I'm going to stick it to my gun, and it's going to be my little instructor for me. So pretty much what I'm going to do is put it on my gun, and as I'm shooting, it'll diagnose and tell me what I'm doing. It can tell me what I'm doing wrong, what I need to do to correct it and fix it. So I got a little Rawson from Tactical Performance Center in my pocket now that I can stick to my gun. So if you guys know what I'm talking about, you know about that video that I did with that class. So yeah, this will go onto my gun, and I'm just gonna have some fun and just shoot some steel today and just show you how it works and see what I'm doing wrong. Because a lot of times, you know, I've noticed that the biggest struggle I've struggled with is my grip. So there's been a lot of times where I've had instructors show me, you know, grip the gun like this and, you know, just squeeze it really hard. And I was squeezing it really hard. It didn't really work or anything like that. A really eye-opening class for me was the Tactical Performance Center class, the handgun mastery class with Rawson, because I really learned what I was doing and learned to stiffen my wrists and, you know, push out with the gun, and was able to really fix that grip. So I'm going to really focus on all my fundamentals and shoot today and just see what this thing says and see how it goes. So that's what's right there. Back here is just some other stuff, an Allen wrench and some screws. Let's see, here's the charger. So you can plug it in right here and charge it like that. Yeah, so that's pretty much everything that's in here. I'm gonna hook this up to my gun and let's get to shooting. All right, so now we have our piece mounted on our gun. I'm going to the app. This is the app right here. So let's go ahead and do it. I'm gonna go to open training. So it's already set up for me, dry fire, right-handed and forward. So now all I gotta do is press start. And that's what it's gonna look like. I'm gonna shoot 5 shots with my dry fire and we'll see how my score is. So let's go ahead and do it.
Ready?
All right, that was 5 shots, so let's check our score real quick. All right, so I just hit stop, and my average was 90.7, so not too bad. I always like to get better though. It'd be awesome to have it at 100, but 100 is perfect. But you want it in the 90s, so I barely made it. So that it's judging me based off my trigger press and how much the gun is moving and stuff like that. So yeah, 90.7 is my average out of 5 shots. All right, so let's do 5 more. All right, let's go. Trying to get really perfect shots, so let's see how I did. 98.2 was my last one. That is really good. That's almost at 100. So I was really taking my time this time and really focusing, trying to really isolate that trigger finger and stiffen that wrist as much as possible. Of course, you know, it's dry fire, so it's different when you have an actual round coming out and a big explosion, all that. You know, it's harder to control, but for dry fire, that's pretty good. So let's hit stop. My average score this time was 91.1, so it got a little bit better. Let's do 5 more shots. Let's try it again. See, score was 97 for the last one. Not as good as the one before that, but I'll still take 97. That's pretty good. So, all right, hey, it's getting better and better. Average score is 93.4. So let's see if we can apply that to live fire and see if we can be doing really good. But average score, it's getting better. Started at 90, went to 91, went to 93. So, all right. All right, so we came over to the steel range. And we are going to do the same thing we just did, but with live fire. So I'm really curious to see what my numbers are with actual live fire, because it's a lot different when you are expecting that, you know, little explosion to happen. So I loaded all my mags for my Glock 19 and I'm ready to go. I'm excited. Let's see how I do. Really quickly, I wanted to shout out one of today's sponsors, which is Act 1 Sport Hearing Protection. The most comfortable hearing protection in the game. Memory foam, electronic. I use them all the time. So go to act1sport.com and use my discount code AGC10 for some hearing protection. All right, so we're gonna do 5 shots, just like we did dry fire, but this time it's live fire. So let's see how we do. Last one was 96.9, not bad. I wasn't sure how I was gonna do. Average score is 84.8. Okay, so I did a little bit better doing the dry fire. So, like, I expected that though, because, you know, with dry fire, it's a lot easier to have this gun still and to not move than when you have an actual bullet coming out of the gun. Then, you know, there's the recoil and it makes it a lot harder to control. But not bad, you know, I thought I might have done a little bit worse because, you know, how my dry fire went. So yeah, pretty good. Let's do it again. So one of the things you can't do while you're shooting too, you can't use trigger reset and you can't lock that trigger back to the rear and just let it out until you hear that click, because it doesn't read it like that, because it's registering the click. So with each shot, you have to take your finger completely off the trigger. So that's a little bit different, but yeah. All right, so let's do 5 more.
Now stop. On one of those, you did trigger reset, and it registered as a 37 because you locked the trigger to the rear instead of letting it out.
I forgot.
So that's one of those issues, guys. Just as a heads up, if you lock it to the rear and hold it for a couple seconds and let out to the click, that's one of the things we do when we teach. It's going to register as a trigger pull, so she got a 37. So we're going to stop it. Her average is 77. That 35 brought it down.
That's a really
you can see
hard
right
thing
there.
To remember to not do.
Right,
know?
you guys can see it there. It's hard for us because that's how we've trained a lot. Okay, different. So let's reset, do it one more time.
All right, so we're gonna do this again. I keep forgetting to not use trigger reset and to just let my finger off the trigger every single time. That's a bad habit to break for me to not do, because I'm used to using trigger reset. So I really have to focus right now. But that's a good thing, because, you know, that means I'm not slapping the trigger. So, all right, let's do it. 86.9 was the last one, so let's stop it and see what our average is. 86.8, not bad. Could be better. I want it in the 90s. That's where I want it, but it's pretty close. And the last one, pretty good. So yeah, that's pretty cool that I can look at that app and I can see exactly how I'm doing and know how I need to improve. So all right, so let's just do one shot and then we're gonna look at some of the other graphs and really look into detail how I did with that one shot. So let's do it. Okay, score was 95.7. So it's showing my trigger press movement, hold movement. So you can see the yellow and the blue right there. So if you look at this graph right here, the blue is me prepping the trigger. The yellow is me pressing the trigger, and then the red is the recoil. So you can see it go up into the right there. So I've noticed that in some of my videos too, when I really slow it down and slow-mo my videos and focus, you can see the recoil going out to the right like that. And that's just a matter of, and a problem of not applying the right pressure with my hands, which is what I learned in Rawson's class at Tactical Performance Center, is, you know, I need to close that gap. And sometimes I don't close that gap. And right here, so right here it's really showing me and diagnosing me. So this is pretty cool because I can just look at this and I can know exactly what I'm doing. So that's really interesting to see that. So what I need to do is apply more pressure with my left hand. And we're looking for that red line to be straight up and down. All right, guys, so this is just touching the surface of the Mantis X. There's a ton more drills and fun games and cool things you can look at and do on the app. I just kind of scratched the surface and did a little bit and had a little bit of fun out here. I like how you have the option of doing dry fire and live fire, because dry fire is good, but there's a big difference when you do live fire. So I like that I was able to do both and compare them and see how I did with both. And you know, I definitely want to bring it back out here and, you know, do some more work with it. I can't wait to show it to some of the honey badgers. So in the future, I'm going to be doing more stuff with it and giving it to some of the honey badgers and letting them use it and all kinds of cool stuff, because this is a pretty unique system. I like it. So yeah, thank you to Mantis X for sending me the X10 Elite. This is elite. So thank you for that. And I also want to thank you guys for watching this video. And I want to give a big thank you to my sponsors. So thank you, Act One Sport Hearing Protection, for the hearing protection. I'll leave the link down below. Go to act1sport.com, discount code AGC10 for some money off. And I want to give a big thank you to fuBar for always supporting these videos and being a huge supporter of the channel. Without them, I wouldn't be able to do these videos and do these classes and do everything that I do. So go check out fuBar. It's the world's best online virtual chat room, bar, hangout area. So you just go on there and you buy virtual drinks, hang out with people, buy all kinds of virtual stuff. So they have all kinds of different unique things on there. There's a ton of stuff you can do on there. They have the fuMafia, which you can join the fuMafia and have some fun and do different stuff. There's slot machines, there's chat rooms, there's virtual drinks. So you can sit there and have a glass of wine and buy your friends a virtual glass of wine and, you know, just have a good time in the comfort of your own house. So go check it out. Go to fubar.com where the party starts right after this, and I'll buy you your first drink. See you there.